Hey everybody, so this is just another tutorial for the pattern art activity in case you missed our Microsoft Teams meeting or in case our Microsoft Teams meeting doesn't go so well. We're going to be talking about that lesson and just kind of quickly review some of the other things today during Microsoft Teams. You guys are well on your way to knowing what to do with multiplication, so right now you're just kind of practicing that, reviewing some time and money skills because you guys have finished everything for second grade, so we're looking at some third grade stuff and try to make your time, instead of counting by fives, we're going to the exact minute. Money, you can make it creative and have some fun with it, and we'll talk about some ways to do that later in the week. But today I'm really excited about this activity. I always like when we can integrate art and math as much as possible, and one of the things we want to make sure that we're really aware of is patterns in numbers. And so we've been looking at that with our multiplication, patterns in multiplication. So noticing that our fives alternate between 5 and 0, knowing that looking on that hundreds chart, how there's a pattern that is formed. Well, we're going to be looking at addition patterns today, and with that, we're going to be studying a little bit about Fibonacci, who is an ancient scientist who studied a pattern that he was fascinated by, that he was seeing happen naturally in nature all over the world. So I went ahead and in your Seesaw, there's a great little video that kind of goes over it for you, and just gives you some more information on him and his idea of this pattern that he has found in nature. So if we take a look here, this is what's known as the Fibonacci sequence. And they basically have charted it on this grid. And the pattern starts at 0. And the way it works is we've got 0 plus 1 equals 1. And then you go 1 plus 1 equals 2. So then you take whatever that your answer is, and you add it to the previous number. So now we've got, 1 plus 1 equals 2. 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 plus 2 equals 5. 5 plus 3 equals 8. 8 plus 5 equals 13. 13 plus 8 equals 21. 21 plus 13 equals 34. 34 plus 21 equals 55. 55 plus 34 equals 89. 89 plus 55 equals 144, and it just keeps going and going and going. And so this was the pattern that he identified and realized. And when it is charted, it's called the golden spiral. So what they did was they counted out the number of squares, and 1 plus 1, and then we've got 2 by 2, and then we've got a 3 by 3 square, and 5 by 5 square, and 8 by 8 square, and 13 by 13 square, and it would go on and on and on. And what they noticed is that it created this spiral, which was known as the golden spiral. And a lot of famous paintings have shown this spiral in their artwork. It's called the golden ratio, and my sister Alexa knows all about it, and she was telling me a little bit about it the other day, and how it's found in so many paintings, including the Mona Lisa. Including in nature, we can see this shell in particular is really fascinating. We can see these spirals taking form. We can see them, the patterns that are in our all around us in nature. So today what we're going to explore is going to be a little bit different. It is using patterns in numbers on a grid. So what we're going to be looking, we're not exactly going to be following Fibonacci's pattern, but we're going to be looking for some other numbers in our pattern. So you're going to be working on this grid paper, and you've got what we call quadrants. And quadrants, there are 4. Quad, and we talked about quadrilaterals have 4 sides. That's that same root word. So we have 4 quadrants here. We have this one, this one, this one, and this one. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the sums that add up to 8. So I'm going to connect, let's see, I'm going to start just in this one quadrant here, and I'm going to find the numbers that add up to 8. So if I'm at 0, I would need 0 and 8. Well, that would just be that line right there. 1 needs 7, so I'm going to take my line, and I'm going to draw a line from my 1 all the way down to the 7. I'm sorry, because 1 plus 7 equals 8. 2 plus 6 equals 8. 3 plus 5, and then I'm going to connect 4 plus 4, and then I'm going to connect 5 plus 3, 6 plus 2, 7 plus 1, and then I'm back at 8. Not going to do anything with this 9 and 10 because I'm stopping at 8. I would go through and do one whole quadrant first before moving on to the next quadrant. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Another strategy that I was practicing was taking all the 7s and the 1s and putting them together, and it just got all jumbled up. So focus on one quadrant at a time and then go on to the next ones. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. My best advice for you is definitely to make sure that you've got your got a ruler. I am doing mine in marker so that it shows up a little more. You might want to try yours in colored pencil. So again, we're starting in this first quadrant up here, and I've got 1 plus 7 is going to equal 8. So I'm just going to start with my 1. It depends on how you want to do it. If you want to go horizontally, connecting up vertically, or if you want to start vertically and connect horizontally. I'm going to go, because of the way my ruler is positioned, I'm going to start at the 1 down here and connect it up to the 7 up there. You just have to keep twisting your ruler so it lines up with both, and then you're just going to draw a straight line connecting them. And don't worry if it's not perfect, that's totally okay. So then I'm going to my next number, which is 2, and 2 needs 6 to get to 8. And then my 5 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 3 plus 5, 2 plus 6, and 1 plus 7. All right, so that's the start of my pattern, and I'm going to continue going around that way. So now that I've finished this quadrant, I'm going to move on to my next quadrant, and I'm here at 1, and 1 needs to get to 7. Now you can see that pattern of what the addition up to 8 equals. We can then try a different color. In the picture that I showed earlier, it has each quadrant, so it has alternating, so these were blue and these were purple, so you could do that with your quadrants, or you can just trace over with a different color to get a different pattern. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do sums of numbers that equal up to, let's see, I really want to get up to these higher numbers, so let's do numbers that add up to 10. So if I go to 10, 10 and 0, well, 9 needs 1. So I'm going to draw all the way up from my 9 down to my 1. 8 plus 2 equals 10. 7 plus 3. 6 plus 4. So as you can see, I'm just practicing different colors. I'm practicing different number patterns and things like that. As I can see, it's very curved the way it is formed. I wonder what would happen if I tried, instead of addition, if I tried something different. If you wanted to try multiplication, you could do this on graphing paper and have a very large grid. There's so many different things that you could do to explore patterns in numbers. So really, guys, I just want to challenge you to look at numbers in a different way. So we did addition, you could try multiplication, you could try doubles. You could just say, okay, what does the pattern in my numbers look like when I do all of my doubles facts? So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 5. Does that change the pattern? I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope that you have fun printing many copies out and trying it in all different ways. I would recommend, I tried to do it on Seesaw and it was very difficult, so I would definitely recommend using that ruler to try to keep your lines as straight as possible and explore numbers in a new way. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.